Yo, what's going on, everybody, man? Welcome to Build the Tabernacle tonight. Man, apologies, your boy, man. Forgot how football be whooping your boy ass, man. You feel me? Man, I was so motherfucking tired, y'all, being out there. Man, at both games up early in the morning, man. I forgot. Man, boy. Yes, sir. Rise and shine. What's going on? Uncle P in the building, man. Hey man, do your boy a favor, man. Everybody in the building. If you're in the building, if you're coming in the building.
Like the video, man. Thumb up the video, man. Like the video, man. Thumb up the video, man. Like the video, man. Thumb up the video, man. Like the video, man. Thumb up the video, man.
Like he said, let's kick it off, man. Y'all know how I like to start off every show, man. Listen. Let's keep everyone in our thoughts, our prayers, our views, and meditations. Let's keep everyone in our thoughts, our prayers, our views, and meditations. One last time, family. Let's keep everyone in our thoughts, our prayers, our views, and meditations. That's people we come in contact with on a daily day basis. People we're cordial with, our families, our extended families, more especially our bearded conversation, our bearded studios, our bearded lounge at the dark, and our bearded tabernacle family. And don't forget those five key components of life that we all should be mastering. That's love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. That's love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. And one last time for the family in the back that was doing something that should have been listening. That's love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. And let's eat for that thing and sprinkle a little support on top because a little support go a long, 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 long way, y'all. You feel me? You need to go ahead and try it out. And if it don't work for you, come on back, man, and we can talk about it. You feel me? Yeah. Now, before we get into anything, I'm talking about get to talking about any topics or discussions. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know what today is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't like it. You know, a lot of people think it's taboo. A lot of people are against, what I'm saying, these type of things being done or being, what I'm saying, put to the forefront. Some of the things that I like to do is have discussions on theology and different religious philosophies and ideologies. On Sunday, we do it well. With I want to say with respectable and decent discourse. And sometimes it probably get a little. So far it hasn't, but it can be. But y'all know what it is. Listen, the thoughts, views, and opinions of Bearded Conversations are the thoughts, views. I'm sorry. The thoughts, views. Well, we're going to keep it a Bearded Conversation, even though it's Bearded Tabernacle. The thoughts, views, and opinions of Bearded Conversations are the thoughts, views, and opinions of me right now. The thoughts, views, and opinions of Bearded Conversation is the thoughts, views, and opinions of me right now. I don't mean to hurt, to harm, or to offend. I don't mean to hurt, harm, or to offend. This video stream is for informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only. Once again, this video stream is for informational, educational, and edutainment purposes only with the underlying and undertone on edutainment, so we do emphasize and stress edutainment. Please do not take any advice given or anything shown on this video stream for face value without consulting the proper professional that suits your specific needs. Please do your due diligence. Please do your proper vet work and research and get that second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth opinion. Because we don't want you going out here robbing no bank, starting a revolt, telling your boss what he or she can take, how they can turn it sideways, and what it put. Because we didn't warn you. You feel? Now, what's going on, my people? Man, we got some people in the building, man. Don't forget to hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? And also, man, let me let the family know this is an open platform, open forum. Um, so it's a link that's in the chat. We'll be posting that link periodically throughout the chat for those that want to come in and conversate with your boy on these topics or something relative to the topic of discussion. We try to keep it philosophical, with the theology and esoteric and metaphysic and all that type of stuff. So, but anything that a king or queen, I'm saying, out there in the audience or that's in the chat or might be scrolling through want to add to the conversation, as long as again it's respectable intellectual discourse, feel more than free to hit that link that's in the chat. We invite all. As you can see, we have the Christianity, Judaism, and Islam symbol in the background. So we invite all. We respect all opinion. This is not a debate. This is not a back and forth thing where we're trying to convert or prove one thing over the other. Sometimes it can seem that way, but we just try to, again, give a contextual overview and insight from personal experiences and for other experiences, on their travels and their journey. No one's wrong. I can't say that and stress that enough that no one's wrong. Your opinion, your opinion. Your truth is your truth. Your reality is your reality. How you see things is perfectly fine with me. But I will address or tell you how I see things, and we can talk about it and see how we can meet in the middle and find some type of common ground to grow and elevate. This thing that we call our culture, our history, and what I'm saying, us just as a people. Um, because there's too many divisive instrument things that's being implemented. Inside of our communities that we seem not to want to combat with. We stay complacent and excuse me, we stay complacent and lasted days ago and just steal with the information that we get, and we don't try to. It's like I'm not going to say we don't try. It's like we don't want to go out and seek and acquire new information. It's like we once we download, we don't know how to go get another terabyte, dump that down so we can be able to receive more information. You know what I'm saying? Some of us just get stuck. You know, but before I went live, man, I was watching something and I want to try to see if I can find it again for the family. Pretty interesting, man. Uh, and I want to listen together and see what you guys think. It was kind of, as I'm listening to it, I was like, okay, you know. But again, like I say, I want to. Let me see if I can find it. I want to watch it with you guys or listen with you guys if you guys don't mind. Uh, Listening. Let's see if I can. So the title, as you can see, is White House Ganassi Scholar Confesses that Black people in America are the original Jews from the Bible. As you can see. So what I will do is this.
Hollywood is a place.
And we can listen together, people. Uncle P in the building. My oracle's supposed to be joining me in a minute. But until he gets here, man, let's listen. I wanna excuse me, listen and let's partake. And if you guys want to come up and talk about it, let me know what you think. Let's get it.
Where the expression "the ignored truths of history" is more apt than this one. When we talk about race, we're talking about that group of people that white people sometimes call niggers. I wonder how many of you actually know what that word means. You will by the end of this show. Now, if I were to tell you that blacks once had a great culture which exceeded the culture of whites, you'd probably find that pretty incredible. But we're talking about the ignored truths of history. Those of you who've been watching this show may perhaps recall that several weeks ago, we talked about the fact that most of the Jews alive in the world today may actually be descendants of Russian converts. Now, Jews like to consider themselves to be descendants of Israel. So the facts that Russia was once a Jewish nation for 500 years, in fact, and that most Jews who are alive today may be more closely descended from Attila the Hun than from King Solomon, these are facts which are just glaring facts, and it's incredible that such things could be ignored. And the question of how such things could be ignored has an answer, and the answer is collusion. All the parties involved.
Is that why Putin, hey, is that why Putin bust out with them pictures, Uncle P? He bust out with them pictures and shit. Everybody went in a little uproar about the little black pictures and shit about the man. Well, I don't know. Let's keep listening, y'all.
Involved have silently agreed, even perhaps without ever talking to each other, they've silently agreed to just not discuss this subject. In the case of the Russian Khazar Jews, It's embarrassing and frightening to Jews to consider the possibility that they may actually be descendants of converts and may have very little Israeli blood in them. In the case of the Russians, it's a horrendous embarrassment to them to admit that for 500 years in the Middle Ages, Russia was a Jewish nation. So they just ignore it. It's collusion. Now, if I were to tell you that blacks, for as many centuries as whites have been superior, if you want, in the Western world, that for just as many centuries blacks were superior, you'd probably find that hard to believe. And you'd wonder how such a fact could be hidden. And the answer is, again, collusion. The whites wouldn't want to admit such a thing because whites like to feel superior and like to think that their superiority is somehow permanent, decreed by God. As for blacks, if you look into the black civilizations that we're going to take a look at momentarily, you find something pretty interesting. You find that those civilizations actually arose as Jewish civilizations, later to become Islamic civilizations. Now, we live in a nation where blacks are taught that whitey got ahead by being a liar and a thief. So today's so-called black leaders get on the air and proclaim that the way to get ahead in America is for the black man to be a better liar and thief than whitey. I don't know about you, but I've thought about this matter, and there's no question in my mind as to where these so-called black leaders come from. They were put up there by whitey. Now, I'm not going to name any names. But the truth of the matter is that the roots of black greatness historically lay in Judaism and Islam. So the blacks who are teaching today that the answer to the question, how do you get ahead, is get the money, dollar. Dollar bill, y'all. You folks know who I'm talking about, and that's what they teach. They don't want to hear any talk about God. For these people, the dollar bill, y'all crowd, the realization that black greatness in the past lay in roots which go into Judaism and Islam is not really what they want to hear. So they just ignore it. As for the blacks in this country who are not dollar bill y'all people, we find that most of them are members of Christian churches, which is a good thing, except for the fact that they've been taught since childhood that Judaism and Islam are the enemy.
Can I can't swear at American, probably not. This is
Truth is heavy. Therefore, only a few can wear it. Yeah. The truth is heavy. And therefore, only a few can wear it. This is a Jewish proverb. But if you want to have problems with the people, start speaking the truth. You'll have problems. That one I assure you. The proverb that I've just told you, which is a Jewish proverb, of course, reminds us that the truth is not only a matter of knowledge, but it is a matter of endurance.
Hey,
The question of
should we
who
be
the true Jews are and whether black people today
should we be offended, y'all? Hold on, let me come back. Should we be offended, y'all, by that dollar bill, y'all? Shit, that shit was hilarious. That shit cracked me up, man. Yeah. And I wonder why. Wonder if that's why Putin came out with that with them black pictures, Uncle P. You know, Putin just released them, so them you know what I'm saying, them black pictures of all that religious shit. You know what I'm saying? Not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? And this is crazy because he's saying that, you know what I'm saying, they could be converts. Listen, now, I don't know. Listen. This is just some information that we listening to. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying this information is true. That's up to the individual to go out there and do some research and some work and you know, figure out what's what. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, you know, bringing it out. You feel me? So let's continue to listen, shall we?
Now we're going to talk about the truths of history, the ignored truths. These truths are known to you if you're a black Muslim in America. You already know this if you're a black Muslim. But if you're a black treated in those whorehouses and condom vending machine buildings that we call public schools, then you probably don't know this. And if you're a white, you almost certainly don't know this. Let's talk a little bit about black history, and let's start with a map.
That was a hell of description for a school, wasn't it? God damn.
This is a map of the area around the Mediterranean Sea. Up here we have Europe. Here's Africa. I think you can see on your screens that in this area of Africa that I'm pointing to is a desert. This, of course, is the Sahara Desert. The territory to the north is fertile, and the territory to the south is fertile. In fact, it's very fertile. Now let's talk about empires. The first great empire in Western civilization was probably Egypt, over here. Not much is known about the early Egyptian empire. There's lots of speculation. But in the process of time, the empire passed. Israel was great for a short time, but that didn't last either. Now, I don't have to tell you that a great empire arose in Greece. Most historians of intellectual Western history trace the history of Western intellectualism to Greece. Now, the Greek Empire didn't last too long, a number of centuries. One could reasonably ask why Greece became so great and why it was unable to hold on to its greatness. One could write whole books on that subject, and I'm sure that lots of such books have been written. But the fact of the matter is that for whatever reason, the Greek Empire rose, the Greek Empire fell. Subsequently, Western civilization moved over here to Italy. That's, of course, what we now call the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire at its peak stretched from Spain all the way around the Mediterranean, encompassing Arabia and parts of northern Africa. The Roman Empire lasted longer than just about any other, better part of 1,000 years. But in the process of time, Rome passed as well. There was a Persian Empire, which had its roots over here in Persia, actually over here, Iran. The Persian Empire at its peak stretched from Egypt, encompassing most of the Middle East, just about up to Greece. And the Persian Empire passed as well. The end of the Persian Empire came
I apologize.
That's around the year 640 or so, when the armies of Muhammad began to conquer the Middle East, a process which was completed with lightning rapidity. So the next great empire was the Empire of Islam, an empire which, in many respects, has not ended to this day. It arose in Saudi Arabia, immediately conquered the entire Middle East, conquered Persia. The Persian Empire was Zoroastrian in religion. They got rid of that, replaced it with Islam. They tried desperately to get into Europe at this end and failed, but what they did do was they came across North Africa, and North Africa fell to the Muslims. It fell quickly, so that by the year 710, they were over here at the Straits of Gibraltar. That was only, about 60 years after the death of Muhammad. It took them only 60 years to conquer the entire Middle East and get over to this point right here. This puts us at the year 710 AD. Now, in the year 710 AD, a fellow by this name, let's get him to stand up a little better, Tariq ibn Ziyad, means Tariq, the son of Ziyad. Tariq was, I believe, a Moroccan. This is Morocco over here. In other words, he was a Moor, a man from Morocco. This whole North African empire, Islamic empire, came to be called the Moors, or in Shakespeare, the Blackamoors. Sounds like we had some black people there, huh? Tariq took the armies of Islam across the Straits of Gibraltar and landed on the Rock in the year 710 AD. You'll never guess what he did next. He burned the boats. He made up his mind that if his armies of Islam could not conquer Spain, they weren't going home. So he burned the damn boats, and that left them facing one way, which was straight forward. And in the year 710, they swept across the Iberian Peninsula, and they took the land that we now call Spain for Islam. For just about 800 years, until precisely the year 1492, the year Columbus sailed.
So he did kind of get some misconstrued. The Achaemenid Persian Empire fell in 330 BCE when it was conquered by Alexander the Great of Macedon. The empire, which began in 550 BCE under Cyrus the Great, had a long history marked by a decline in later years, with events like Greco-Persian wars weakening it before Alexander's final invasion. Okay, let's keep listening, shall we?
For America. For almost 800 years, Spain was a Muslim country. The army stopped at the Pyrenees Mountains because they couldn't beat the French. In honor of his conquest, they called what is now called the Rock of Gibraltar Jabal al-Tariq, which means the Mountain of Tariq. And the British, in their inimitable way, turned Jabal al-Tariq into Gibraltar. We now had an African Muslim empire which stretched from the Pyrenees Mountains, encompassing all of Spain, Morocco, and the whole north coast of Africa, right up to Egypt, and the area south into the Sahara Desert, as far as any man cared to stake a claim. This northern African empire, which was eventually headquartered in Spain, went under three names, and here they are. All the same empire, really, but three different names. From 710, the year that the Muslims moved into Spain, up until about the time of the Crusades, this was called the Umayyad Empire. And it wasn't just North Africa, because at that time, up until the Crusades, Islam had a world government. It was one empire, ruled from Damascus, and it was called the Umayyad Empire. But around the time of the Crusades, the Umayyad Empire fell apart into smaller empires. And the empire encompassing Spain and North Africa at that point was called the Almoravid Empire, later the Almohad Empire. These names, Almoravid and Almohad, come from names of tribes, but it was all basically the same region. This area, from Spain, North Africa, all the way to Egypt, and well into the Sahara Desert, an area just about the size of Western Europe. Now, around the time of the Crusades, Islam made its way across the Sahara Desert into this fertile sub-Saharan region, and a second Islamic empire arose down here. This empire also went under different names, and here are the names. Originally it was called Ghana, but not the Ghana of today. A huge mass of land, which we're going to show you again in a minute. Later it came to be called the Kingdom of Mali. And finally, at around the time of Columbus, it was called the Kingdom of Songhai, Songhai being the name of an African tribe which conquered the territory. Three different names, but all really the same kingdom. A kingdom comprising the area from Senegal over here, all the way across the fertile sub-Saharan region to Chad, and well into the Sahara Desert. Again, an area almost the size of Western Europe. Now, I don't know if you can see it on your screen, but I'm pointing now to a river. This river flows from the mountains coming originally from Senegal, first east and then south. It's called the Niger River. And along the shores of the Niger River arose a civilization which eventually became the center of civilization in the Western world. Its headquarters was here. This is a city called Timbuktu. To those of you who are not familiar with this history, it might sound a little like a joke. Timbuktu. Timbuktu, at the time that Columbus sailed for America, was the center of Western civilization. Right here in the heart of Africa, on the shores of the Niger River. In other words, this was a city of niggers, some people would like to call them. But they outdid Whitey. Europe at this time was a mess. There was no real civilization to speak of. The Renaissance was just starting at the time that Timbuktu, down in the heart of so-called darkest Africa, was the center
That damn boy, that word.
of world civilization. Sounds impossible, doesn't it? Not only is it possible, it was true. And if you don't believe it, look it up in any encyclopedia. Historians say to get away with this. This cult facts of history involves would just as soon not think about it. Now, before proceeding, I want to show you a few books. This book is called From Babylon to Timbuktu, written by Rudolph Windsor. I've spoken to Rudolph Windsor a few times. He's a great writer, and he takes the history of the sub-Saharan Black empires as well as the northern Saharan Black empires and makes them very readable. All the information in this book can be verified in any encyclopedia, but it's more interesting to read it here. Because Mr. Windsor is a sponsor of this show, we're going to be giving the address of his publishing company at the end. You can also obtain this book in many black bookstores or street stalls which cater to black books, although you won't necessarily be able to find this in Barnes & Noble. Great book. Here's another book which is a big source of information for me. It's called World's Great Men of Color. And this is a book you shouldn't have too much trouble finding in a library or elsewhere. It was written by J.A. Rogers, one of the great black writers of the early 20th century. Finally, here's a book that I'd love to be able to talk about, but I doubt there'll be time. It's called The Sign and the Seal by Graham Hancock. It was a bestseller for its genre not too long ago. It tells the story of the Ark of the Covenant. And if you're like me, by the time you finish this book, you're going to believe, as the author believes, that the Ark of the Covenant is in Ethiopia, where it's been for thousands of years. That is, God, if Mr. Hancock is correct, gave the Ark of the Covenant to niggers. Think about that.
I'm sorry, my bad. Uncle P, wow.
Of course, a lot of people don't believe that. I'm not 100% sure it's true myself, but I'm about 90% convinced. In any event, I don't think we're going to have time to talk about the Ark today. Let's talk about Spain during the Middle Ages. I want to read something to you. I want to read you a little passage about Moorish Spain as Europe's cultural center. Although the white Christians of Spain deeply desired during this entire period to expel the blackamoors from their country, it is nevertheless an undisputed historical fact that medieval Spain was the cultural, educational, and scientific center of Europe.
Well, the only other empire that I know that's older than Egypt is the Sumerian. I don't know about that Amazon shit, Uncle P. You gonna have to give me some information about that Amazon shit. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that you're wrong, but I have to see the proof. But the only other empire that I know, you know what I'm saying, that's older than the Egypt is the Sumerian. You hear me? And there's a few others. But I only heard about the Amazon jungle empire being older. You could be right. Could be right. Could be right. You say he's probably trolling. No, I don't think this brother trolling.
The Moorish kings lived in castles of highly polished marble, with elaborately carved walls and beautiful mosaic floors, while European kings lived in cold, damp castles of unfinished stone, crude by comparison. The streets of Spain's capital city, Cordova, were well paved and completely illuminated by public lights, at a time when the streets of London were dark and covered with mud.
I think he's doing a good job of misdirection, as far as with some of the information. You know what I'm saying? Because even some of his dates off, and some of the things. Now, if you don't know about a lot of these things, you could probably get confused with some of the things that he's talking about, as far as the empires, the days that they ruled, how they feel, why they feel. Some things he's dead on. You know what I'm saying? And some things, that's why, like, one of them, like, that's why I looked up, the fall of the Persian Empire, because I knew he was wrong. I'm like, that don't even sound right. But again, he has information for wherever he got it from, Uncle P. And he just project, he putting it out there to see who gonna catch. He say LiDAR has shown the structures. Yeah, they say LiDAR is better at removing vegetation. Well, show me or lead me in a way where this LiDAR then shown that there are structures in the Amazon older than the Egyptian civilization or the Sumerian civilization, and we can talk. You know what I'm saying? Or just guide me that way. But now that you say I'm gonna be looking, you know what I'm saying? And I'm a, but if you got where I can go, help me get there. You know what I'm saying? Because you could be right. You feel me? You could be right. And you know what? I'm not gonna die. But then again, Uncle P, because of the way I am, I don't doubt that. Because I believe civilization has always existed, right? And people have always been everywhere. I don't think people just started from one place. I just like, even with the science shit and the theories that some of that shit just don't make no sense, man. Like, come on, man. Like, so it was just a group of people in one spot, nowhere else, and then they migrate. Get the fuck out of here, man. Listen, let me tell you something. That's why I believe in indigenous or people that's from where they from. Because ain't nowhere in the hell in such times, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying later on in stages in the life or developmental stages of evolution, yeah, but ain't no way in the hell if you trying to say that they was these ape-like creatures, they had thought processes to get the fuck out of here, man. No. People were everywhere at one point in time. Now, were they all the same color? Hell no, I don't believe that neither. Now, what could it have been a dominant situation and motherfuckers got out on the lesser, you feel me? That lesser became the dominant. Yeah, we can say that. I could go for that. You know what I'm saying? And then, man, we hear all this shit about, well, I ain't gonna say we, but I've been seeing lately, you know what I'm saying, that north is south and south is north and east is west and west is east and the map been flipped and I'm talking about, oh man, these people with America or Mexico is the true Africa. Oh, man, Uncle P, it's just so much. I don't want to say, yeah, craziness and madness going on and misleading and not understanding and disingenuousness. Just man, it's ridiculous. But I was listening to this brother, you know what I'm saying, before we came on. Let me see.
The Moors possessed all the knowledge of ancient Greece, which was lost to Europe until the Renaissance. They made important contributions to philosophy, medicine, mathematics, chemistry, astronomy, and botany. Doesn't sound like such a dark age after all, does it? There were academies for the rich, free schools for the poor, and libraries containing books from all over the world. The Jews of medieval Spain got along famously with the Muslims, and for them, the sojourn in that nation is remembered as being the second most glorious period in their history, exceeded only by the glory of the reigns of David and Solomon in ancient Israel. Medieval Spain was the time and place of Maimonides and many of the other great Old Testament scholars, whose works constitute the foundations of modern Jewish thought. Throughout the Middle Ages, the white Christians of Spain endeavored to thrust out the Moors. It took them until 1492 to do that. When Isabella and Ferdinand finally defeated the last Moorish king in Granada, in the same year that they financed Columbus's trip to America, they immediately expelled all Jews who refused to accept Christianity. This is not at all surprising. Since the Jews had actively supported the Moorish conquests, the Christians were not about to take any chances on losing what had taken them 800 years to regain.
Were you abused by a member of the Catholic Church in Illinois when you were young? A global settlement.
Oh.
The day the last Moors and Jews were expelled from Spain was counted as a great day in Spanish history. But was it? It's true that Spain, largely through the strength of its navy, had achieved the status of a world power. But in less than a century, the Spanish Armada was defeated by England, and the nation went into a great decline. Now we're going to ask a very important question. During the Middle Ages, were Spain's Muslim rulers really black? It's almost inevitable that white people who have never been taught black history will ask this question. Were they really black? After all, Moors are kind of Arabic. They're not really Negro, are they? And the answer to the question is that there was more than one race involved. Again, as I told you before, in the beginning, there was the Umayyad dynasty, and they were mainly Arabic, although there were some blacks there. But by about the time of the Crusades, the Umayyad dynasty became soft and complacent, and the forces of Christianity were rising up in Spain and threatening to overthrow Islam. A second dynasty of kings arose called the Almoravids. They came out of Senegal, which is right in the middle of Africa. That's about as black as you can get. They conquered Spain, and they were the rulers from then until the end. Centuries. There's no question that Spain was ruled by blacks, at least during the latter part of the Middle Ages. The third dynasty, the Almohads, was also a mixed dynasty. The greatest of the Almohad kings was a fellow who they called Al-Mansur, which means the Invincible. His actual name was Yaqub ibn Yusuf, which means Jacob, son of Joseph, almost like a Jewish name. Al-Mansur arose at a time when the Christian forces were really rearing up and threatening to expel Islam. The Christians put together a huge army of 300,000 men at a place called Alarcos. Al-Mansur called together all the forces of Islam from all across North Africa, all the way to Egypt, and put together an army which beat the Christians at Al-Alarcos in one of the greatest battles in history. Now, Al-Mansur was the son of a man who was described as being of mixed race, but his mother was a full-blooded Negro slave from Senegal or Timbuktu. That makes Al-Mansur at least 75% Negro. And that's about as colored as any black man walking the streets of America today. So the answer to the question is yes, Spain was ruled by blacks during the period when it was indisputably the cultural, scientific, and educational center of Europe, believe it or not. Now, the slightly out of focus map on the left-hand side of your screen shows the approximate boundaries of the medieval Great Black Sub-Saharan Kingdom, known variously as Ghana and then Mali and later Songhai, all the same kingdom, a rather large kingdom. The yellow color shows the modern nation of Mali, which is, of course, much smaller. And right in the midst of it is a large black arrow showing the location of Timbuktu, the greatest city of that nation. I'd like to read you something about Timbuktu. This kingdom was originally called the Kingdom of Ghana. From about 300 AD up to the time of the Crusades, Ghana was a Jewish nation. This has been documented by the writings of one Eldad the Danite, whose works constitute the main historical source of information for this time or place. So this was a Jewish kingdom. Did you know that there were Jewish kingdoms in Africa? After North Africa was converted to Islam, an immensely lucrative trade developed between Ghana and the Islamic states to the north. In other words, the empire that was centered in Spain, which we talked about. At first, the Ghanans traded gold, then iron, which was used to make weapons. Eventually, they traded grain, which proved to be the most lucrative of all. Shortly after the year 1000 AD, the kings of Ghana converted to Islam. Subsequently, the city of Timbuktu became the center of trade for the entire world, not just Africa. At that time in history, movement of goods across Europe from land was out of the question, because Europe was a collection of warring barbarian states. So all goods from the East, and that means all goods period, because there weren't nothing being made in the West at that time, all goods from the East were brought to Egypt, where they were loaded onto caravans. The caravan routes all converged to Timbuktu, which, by the 15th century, had become one of the wealthiest cities in the world. From Timbuktu, the goods were transported 1,000 miles to the Atlantic coast, from where they were loaded onto ships bound for Europe. In the 14th century, the University of Sankore was founded at Timbuktu, and this city began to become one of the world's leading centers of academic learning.
Okay, and I don't think Ghana was ever a Jewish nation, honestly. I think he way the fuck off, but I'm gonna let him continue.
Ghana, which by then was known as Songhai, came to be known as the Mecca of the Sudan.
We have got to the
1500, this empire in the heart of so-called darkest Africa had become the center of the Islamic world at a time when the Renaissance in Europe had barely begun. The students of Timbuktu were sent out to the great Muslim universities of Spain, North Africa, and Asia, and the learned men of all races and nationalities were paid handsomely to come into Timbuktu to teach. The commodity which came to be the most profitable object of trade in Timbuktu was not gold or silver or grain, but books. It has been written that there were more books in the library of the University of Sankore than in all the libraries of Europe combined. It is also said that the entire body of male free
Now he told a little bit of the truth.
citizens was literate. Leadership and authority were in hands of the learned scholars of the city. There was a legendary 14th century Muslim traveler named Ibn Battuta. He's kind of like the Marco Polo of the Arab world. And this is what Ibn Battuta had to say about Timbuktu, and I quote, "The inhabitants had a greater abhorrence of injustice than any other people. Neither the man who travels nor he who stays at home has anything to fear from robbers or men of violence." The driving force behind these developments was God and nothing else. Timbuktu arose as a Jewish empire and blossomed under the banners of Islam. There's no question about what the source of greatness was, not black skin color, but God. So maybe you're starting to understand what I mean when I say whoever you thought you were, you're a Jew. We're out of time now. Please tune in next week when we're going to talk about the relationship between God and enlightenment. Are there two different ultimate realities, or are these two the same? Or maybe they're both wrong. If you want to know the answer to the question, tune in next week and find out. Thank you and goodbye.
Wow.
After clearly watching the rabbi and listening to him, here is my deep critical analysis. You see, the Hebrew Bible itself paints a complex picture of identity. Israel was never just one homogeneous group, but a tapestry of tribes, neighbors, and immigrants bound together by covenant. Scholars, people who are learned, that is, note that the Israelites lived in the crossroads of Africa and Asia, at the edge of Egypt, and their complexion would have been closer to the indigenous people of Northeast Africa than to pale Europeans. The ancient Jewish presence in Africa is not speculative, it is historical. Egypt sheltered the Israelites during famine and exile, right? Ethiopia, these are countries in Africa. Now Ethiopia is home to the ancient Jewish traditions, with the Beta Israel claiming descent from Solomon and the Queen of Sheba. Yemen and Arabia had Jewish tribes who intermixed with Africans across the Red Sea. We have North Africa, which saw Jewish communities as early as the Hellenistic period, long before European Jewry like becoming Jewish, right? These migrations seeded Jewishness across the African continent, sometimes through direct lineage, other times through cultural exchange. Over time, the scattering deepened, especially during the Babylonian exile and later under the Roman persecution, right? So we are going to deconstruct the European image of the Jewish people, right? Because there's an image that the Europeans have fixed upon human beings, that this is how the Jewish look like. So here, we are going to employ a critical analysis, a method that questions dominant binaries and dismantles universal truth that are often political construction, right? For centuries, Western Christian imagination painted Jews as either Christ killers or exotic Orientals, but rarely as Africans or as Black people. When Jewish identity was later reconstructed in Europe, especially after the Enlightenment period, the image of the Jew became white. We had the Ashkenazi Jews who had settled in Europe, who came to dominate the global narrative of Jewishness. These left the Black Jewish claims doubly marginal.
That's enough. That's enough. I ain't gonna. They gonna flag me, Uncle Pete. They gonna flag me. They gonna flag me. That's enough. I don't want nobody getting mad at me. I don't want nobody getting mad at me. He said he sounds more believable and knowledgeable, if I'm being honest, versus the former guest. Yeah. But them, again, them people's opinions. You feel? Listen, I did that because, again, knowledge, information, things that we seek, things that we try to understand. It has a certain importance and relevance in the way we live our lives, and you know what I'm saying, Uncle P, and how we think and how we construct our thoughts and how we treat people and how we deal with others. Of course, from the two speakers, you can get the two differences of opinions on, on certain things, and certain things match up. But again, like, this is nothing that don't come out or that ain't been out. Like I said earlier, with Putin, you know what I'm saying, coming out with the pictures and all that, talking about, you know what I'm saying, and then we already know anytime we go anywhere, man, we learn well, first, shit, Europe is named after a black goddess, for God's sake. Well, for goodness sake, you know what I'm saying? You feel like this narrative, this propaganda, this brainwashing tactic that they got us under is crazy. And again, that's why I love to talk about a lot of these things, man. And I know a lot of people don't like to hear these things, Uncle P. And I know a lot of people might say, well, that ain't important. But it is. Because there's an underlining cataclysmic interference with our energy, bro. And I'm not going to necessarily say that it's this or the latter, but as a collective, these things hinder us from moving forward and advancing. Apologize for the pauses. I just want to make sure, that I say the right thing and the wrong thing, but not necessarily the wrong thing. Because again, I don't mean to hurt, or to offend. If I had to give my amateur analysis, the first speaker, again, I think he was missing in truth with misinformation. But again, I think that's what his purpose was. Uncle P say trolling, could possibly be, or the lack of, you just don't know, and I'm saying what you taught is what you spew out. You know what I'm saying? You think you got an open mind, or you think you have an open mind, but you really don't. You let certain things guide you. Um, I do like the fact that he was trying to be open with the fact that, or it could be, it depends on how you look at it, open with the fact that by acknowledging that, I'm saying, people of color could have been, I'm saying, this, that, or the third. And listen, regardless of all that, we know shit gets stolen. It got stolen from people. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what we know. That like it's constantly. It happens before our eyes with our music, with our clothes, with our style, with our swag, with our speech, our language, the things that we do. You hear me? Like everyone wants to emulate and copy who we are and how we are, but don't want to give reverence or pay homage to the entities that's bringing forth these great things that they want to copy and emulate. You know, and and again, this is why I say we don't fight. It's time to stop that. You know, if you want parts of this, or if you want this, or if you like, especially with the sports, Uncle P, especially. We can, man, so many markets we can corner. There's so many things we can accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Outside of this, um, these three things. That's these three, or those three symbols. That's in my background, and I think that the reason these things are taboo is because I don't think the accomplishment wants to be had. I think that that complacent shit, that happiness, you know what I'm saying, that we tend to hold on to. And I'm just giving my honest opinion. Like, get it, my honest opinion. I'm just giving you my factual honest opinion. I just think we need to let it go, man. Let it go. You know, and then we get the ones, and then, and I partook in that. Well, I'm all of them. You know what I'm saying? Because we created everything, right? We get, no. Certain things you can't say that to and attach yourself to, man. But then you could take a responsibility for creating the person or the things that created and manifested those things in these stories. You know what I'm saying? In these publications and those councils that came together to canonize. I mean, there's a lot of ways to go down this rabbit hole and to just, be on some other, type of thing with it. But at the end of the day, for me, it's just like, if we don't talk about it, it keeps us in a place where we don't go nowhere. Right? When these conversations ain't had, when these challenges are not brought forth. And again, a lot of times I know, well, because it's going to be arguments and it's going to be this and it's going to be that. I ain't one time argued with a motherfucker about none of the things that we talk about on Bearded Tabernacle. I question, I ask, that's it. I try to get understanding. Some things you don't understand. And it's crazy trying to argue facts with faith, or debate facts with faith, or even question faith with the facts. It's, you know, and I get the insanity part. I get the insanity part, you know, but I like the psychology of it. I like to, you know what I'm saying, get into the minds of others and try to understand, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. Well, yeah, man, I just wanted to play that. I thought I was watching that before. Um, I came on and went live, and people was, chit chatting. You know what I'm saying? I figured we chit chat about it too. Well, listen, y'all. Again, man, the link is in the chat. Let me put it in there again. You know what I'm saying? I'll be putting this link in the chat periodically throughout the publication, man. If anybody want to come up here, man, and say something, say shut up, say get off of that topic or change it, you know what I'm saying? Feel more than free. You feel me? To come on in the building, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Hey, man, you know, let's pause for a little station identification.
Still say.
Yeah. We back. Cuz I'll say, what's the bid at Tabernacle? He say, what's that Tabernacle word on this anointed night? Oh, man. Oh, man. Praise is the anointed word for the night. Praising yourself. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that you can do what you need to do for you. Because you got to do it for you. You know what I'm saying? Praise. I ain't gonna tell you to praise nobody but yourself. You know? If you're on a journey and you walking and you out here, you know what I'm saying, and you putting your feet to the pavement, praise yourself. Facts. Praise yourself. Hold on, y'all. Who won that Kansas City Chief game? Hold on, y'all. Do. Let me see. Something going on. That's why I need to check. Wow. Are you kidding me, man? Wow. You gotta be kidding me. Mm. Well, this is crazy. That's crazy. They won the game, but this punk didn't do what he was supposed to do. My man. But anyway, Kansas City won finally. They got a win on the board, man. They won it too. So hopefully they can turn their season around. Hey, man. Oh, whoa. Wait a minute, man. The Bears won today, y'all. You know what I'm saying? The Bears won today. You feel me, man? They put a spanking on Dallas. You know what I'm talking about? 31-14. You know what I'm saying? Them boys out there picking the ball. Well, I ain't gonna defense still need to it's just I don't know. But they did what they supposed to do down there in that red zone though. You know what I'm saying? 2 picks. You feel me? The Bears did their thing. He said, you mind to pop up special guest this week? No, brother, you can pop up whenever you want to pop up, brother. You know what I'm saying, yeah, them Bears got busy today, my boy. Hey, listen, man, you know what I'm saying? Chat, you feel me? That's all I can say. Hey, listen, the boy Caleb Williams, he looked bad today. Uh, you know, he still looked a little bit shaky out there for him. You know what I'm saying? I think I don't know. I don't want to say it's moving too fast for him, but yeah, it kind of almost looked like the game just moving too fast for him, and he not, you know what I'm saying? He not assimilating, you know what I'm saying? He ain't getting it together. Like, come on, buddy. Had to get it together. We kind of have to go command for that touch, TD catching the end zone. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, Caleb threw for 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? He threw for 4 of them. He had a good game, decent game. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully this can give him some confidence. You know what I'm saying? And boost him up. Bears, come on, man. Y'all got to get a running game. Don't get me wrong, it ain't bad. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a nice little 1-2 combo, whatever the case may be, but y'all got to get a strong back in there, man. You know what I'm saying? To help make up for that boy arm. That boy arm ain't you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not dependable. You know what I'm saying? It's playmaking and IQ right now. It's not dependable. To get y'all over a hump or to carry y'all through You know what I'm saying? Into the playoffs, man. Y'all come on, y'all need to make some moves and get some acquisitions in there, man. You feel me? Come on, man, spend some money. Y'all last time I moved to Arlington Heights and growing the community and the surrounding areas and shit out there. You feel me? While y'all leaving Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Y'all fuck around listen, man, let's get a new team in Chicago. Fuck it. We don't even want the Bears no more. You feel me? Let's get this. If they moving to Arlington, they ain't the Chicago Bears. It ain't gonna be the same because they're in Arlington. You feel me? But y'all need a back in that, man. Get y'all a decent back, man. A third down back or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Nice little running back that can block, you know what I'm saying, and take care of the business in the backfield if need be. Someone that can pick and pop out, you know, man, catch some flat and screen passes, get you a few yards. You know what I'm saying? And a nice strong runner. You know what I'm saying? When it's 3rd and 4, you know what I'm saying? That's dependable to get them 4 yards at the 4th and 1. You know what I'm saying? Type situation. Even though I know a lot of teams in the league don't necessarily do that on 4th and 1. You know what I'm saying? But man, come on, man. Y'all need y'all to grind there and there. Decent receivers, Romeo Udunze, I believe. Zach Zacchaeus or whatever his name is. Got some pretty decent receivers, you feel me? So, you know what I'm saying? And Kokomet and that other young tight end that they got, you know what I'm saying? It's okay, you know what I'm talking about? You know, if they choose to run a double tight set, I can see some things happening. But man, they need a grinder in there, man. You know what I'm saying? Other than Swift, you know what I'm saying? But you know, yeah, but we won today. That's a good thing. It's always a good thing when your home team win it, you feel me? Or getting wins. So yeah, man, big up to the Chicago Bears, man. You know, matter of fact, man, hold on, man. Let me pay homage to my Bears, man, because we won today. We gonna flip the script on be at the Tabernacle tonight. You feel me? We gonna flip the script here on the bed. It's Tabernacles and things tonight. You know what I'm saying? No, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. That ain't showing crispy like, yeah, that's better. You know what I'm saying? No. From Bears, baby. You feel me? Come Midway Monsters. Monsters of the Midway. No. Let's see what they do next week, though, man. Hopefully we can be 2-2, man. All right. Yeah, but Dallas, CeeDee Lamb didn't play. They took Dak out, put Milton in, Milton out of. I mean, hey, I like Milton. I like they look back up. They should probably try to mix him in and do some things with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Dak, I was rocking with Dak Prescott for a minute, man. You feel me? And I wasn't necessarily a Dallas fan. I was just like on a Dak bandwagon type. You know what I'm saying? Like I was rocking with him. You feel me? But yeah, man, I think that yeah, it's over with. Man, that's the Bengals just like with Joe Burrow, man. Higgins and what's my boy name? What's the other boy name over there? The other receiver. I forgot his name. Chase. Yeah, man, it ain't looking good for them, man. No MVPs coming this year. You feel me? Especially with my boy Burrows out. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And if it ain't one thing, it's another, man. Them injuries, man. Them injuries. Yeah. But anyway. But yeah, man, that video was wild, man. I was watching that shit Uncle P, and I was like, let me see what the people think. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. My Oracle was supposed to be popping in, but he ain't popping in. But we still got a few more time left. But yeah, man. It's like I say though, you know, man. I think a lot of times, it's they say it's taboo because they don't want us to advance or excel or become enlightened. I think the more we talk about these things, I think the more um, a lot of these things break down right before our eyes in front of us. You know what I'm saying? Um, I believe the more we can talk about these things, we as a culture or and a people can come to the realization that this is not what's needed. You know what I'm saying? For us to be socially, politically, economically, um, and philosophically sound in today's society. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's just my factual opinion. Don't beat me up for it. Some people might, what I'm saying, disagree and might have some points of rhetoric to spew and give me. And that's cool because I'm open to um, suggestions on how to change and curate this thing that we try to push along. You know what I'm saying? Um, but at the end of the day, I always tell people, man, no matter what you believe in, you know what I'm saying, it don't bother me. If it's helping you become productive, if it's helping you be for your people, if it's helping you advance your people, you know what I'm saying, in a way that it doesn't get in the way, you know what I'm saying? That's cool. Listen, I ain't got nothing to say to you, you know. And it's just as long as the acknowledgement of people, and I think when we join these different types of schools of thoughts, um, I think we displace us being people. We take that faith or that belief in those facetious ass stories. You know what I'm saying? And we say that's the end all be all. Versus um the people, the interactions that we have with each other, the things that we see, because and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying like people are great, right? But we already jacked up, and now you got something a system of what I'm saying, wordplay that's really jacking, that's gonna jack us up even more. I ain't gonna say really, but just gonna jack us up even more, versus dealing with the things or the situation they had as far as being people. Before it was any of this so-called whatever. You know what I'm saying? We were people. We dealt with each other how we dealt with each other, you know? And I don't think it was such a bad thing. Until we learned about war. You know? Until we learned how to, you know what I'm saying? Until we realized that we could start killing each other and taking over kingdoms and burning, yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. Madness. Madness. But again, it's for control. It's for control. It's for control. And then, history becomes displaced or rewritten. The victor tells the spoils of the war, as they say. You know? And then, and as years go on, you hear a lot of stuff about this, that, and the third, or this was this and that was that. And then, you try to go fact check it and look it up, and most of the books say, or speak out against it. And so it just be hard. It just be hard. And I'm just talking history. I'm not even going or getting to the biblical aspect yet, because that's just insane to me. You know what I'm saying? But it's just my perception. It's just my understanding. You know what I'm saying? That's just my my take on the philosophical side or the esoterical side of that faith. Being literal or being a true thing that would succumb, encompass or overtake my energy or my being, and seep into my soul and get me to understand and see the light and start talking to people about Jesus. I just can't do it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't. I took many journeys. And maybe I didn't journey long enough or seek long enough. Um, but I sought what I thought I needed to seek and did what I needed to find. And decided that, nah, this ain't it for me. You feel me? Or this can't be it for me. Not that this isn't it, this can't be it. There has to be something further along. There has to be something that can elevate and enlighten and make this plight of that in this journey that I'm walking just a little bit more understandable. And again, I'm pretty sure it's a scripture. Oh my goodness, that they could pull up and that probably could explain what I'm talking about right now. You know, That word salad. I mean, because we never understand. And then, with the claims of Ethiopian having the oldest Bible, the Christian Bible. Like, bro, come on. The inception of Christianity did not start in Ethiopia, brother. People be killing me with that. That shit was brought there. It was brought there, man. They might have mixed their stories. I even heard a young lady say, I'll be thinking I'll be saving these. I'll be trying. That West Africans and other Africans talk about their ancestors or the people that made them come from across the water. Now, I'm not saying it's true. Of course, this is all alleged. But I haven't heard any of the teachers or anybody that I profess to watch or claim to watch, or any griot. I haven't heard any oral tradition of the people of the continent of Africa, saying that their ancestors or the people that made them came from across the waters. You know what I'm saying? So, and which direction and what water? You feel me? You know what I'm saying? But in any event, if they came across the water, I mean, they weren't original indigenous inhabitants of that land. Somebody came from somewhere else and boom, popped the seed off over there. And that's how they became what they became. They people got the fuck on back out of there and went back to where they came from. Just like how they say they kidnapped us from here. It's crazy because they try to say they kidnapped us from here, America, and took us to Africa. A lot of this shit be too much to keep up with sometimes, y'all. It'd be too much to keep up with. Brother Megatees, man. You a 5% nation, brother. I'm saying, tell us a little bit about Islam from a 5%er's perspective. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. I know you brothers got the Circle 7 Quran. It's not actually but you know what I'm saying? It's, what I'm talking about. But I rock with some of them principles too. I draw and demonstrate, you know what I'm saying, the function. You feel what's today's mathematics, you feel? You know what I'm saying? Hey, but I know some 5% of brothers though. They're kind of cool, man. I just don't. I done heard some wild theories. Like this one brother that I knew that was a 5% brother. He used to always talk about Dragon Ball Z and say how we was Dragon Ball. Some wild shit, bro. About the planets and we God's uncle and that's craziness. I'm like, what? Like, and don't get me wrong. When you listen to how them brothers be putting it down, it be good. I ain't gonna say it could be convincing. You be like, well, not convincing, but just have you like, what? You know what? Oh, all right, I can fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but it's just crazy. We get all types of things from all types of people. You know what I'm saying, who formulate these crazy ass ideas and push them off on the masses. Some people gravitate to it, others gravitate towards other shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. What you say? Hey, what you say now? He said, I'm 5%. But all this belief noise is all divide and conquer. And damn about to start telling what is that? And damn about to start telling people I'm spiritually inclined. Oh shit! Oh shit! And I'm damn near okay. Yeah, okay, conquer. Okay, I'm damn near about to tell people I'm spiritually inclined. Okay, I get you. I get you. No, man, like so. But even within that shit, they try to make that about. Like even when I tell motherfuckers, or I just say to motherfucker, like, but even if I, you know what I'm saying, I just say to motherfucker, he be like, okay, well, if you telling me not to do the Christianity, or if you telling me not to do the Judaism, or the Hebrew Israelite, or the Muslim thing, like, you know, you telling me I should practice the diasporas, which diaspora should I practice? And the brother was responding like, well, you know, whichever one is more comfortable for you. So then the brother responded back, well, instead of practicing the diasporas, why not practice boom, boom, and boom? And the brother was like, because these are the things that are of you. You know what I'm saying? And you know, now mind you, DNA can't trace us back to no particular tribe or place like that, right? That's just why they say just if you got melanin, you came from over there. They really ain't got no well, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll keep it simple. No convincing evidence, enough convincing that state this. You know, that's why they do these haplogroups, you know, the E1B1, C1Z1, all that craziness and shit like that. And they do that to confuse you. But again, if you can falsely, that's why I was saying that that buddy that was speaking earlier, Uncle P, he was, he was, but again, he was mixing in misinformation, you know, and it's hard. And I'm not gonna even hold you. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I'm gonna keep it a couple of beans. A lot of these motherfuckers get y'all, and it's not intentional. A lot. I don't want to say the majority, but for the most part, it is. But for the ones where it's not intentional, it's only because of what they, you know what I'm saying? I guess it's their fault because it's only what they sought out. You know what I'm saying? They didn't stay in it long enough to see, you know. And then if you didn't stay in it long enough to see, you stayed upon that journey outside of that seeking, you know what I'm saying, to figure out what was what or what made better sense or what you thought could be, you know what I'm saying, a possible understanding of what everything is. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but ain't nothing wrong. Listen, man, don't give up on the 5%, brothers. You know what I'm saying? And like I tell everybody, man, if that's what you sticking to, man, stick to it. I'm talking about we don't want to be out here like pancakes in these streets, flip flopping. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Because everything is a spiritual base. I do believe. Now, that's something that I do believe. I do believe all these different philosophies, bro. I do believe they all have a spiritual base, a spiritual foundation, a spiritual principle. You know what I'm saying? Now I would say resonates. I don't give a hell what you're following. I believe those things resonate through all these schools of thoughts. You know what I'm saying? How they displayed, how they acted upon is another thing. But I think, you know what I'm saying, that spiritual, that goodness and all that shit is and just like, you know, just like how we always talk about, man, God created, they said, I not Lord the God create good, I create evil and all that craziness. Um, we always say you can't have the yin and the yang. You always got to, even when you jump in your car, when you get them cables out, what you gotta do? Gotta put that black, and that's crazy, man. I don't want to say it like that. But you don't, because all you need the black for is a ground. So, you know what I'm saying? But you put that black to that negative, and you put that red to that positive. You know what I'm saying? If you, you start your car. So you need that negative and positive energy. You know what I'm saying? To make a complete charge. You know? If y'all was paying attention. Not to me, but in school. You know what I'm saying? Everything works hand in hand. Everything works hand in hand. Sound like a jingle, did the boy? I'm gonna start writing jingles, y'all, boy. Your boy gonna start writing jingles. I think I could be a jingle man. Big up to the Chicago Bears one more time, man, for that victory over you know what I'm saying, the Dallas Cowboys, man. Big up to the Chicago Bears for that 31-14 victory over the Dallas Cowboys. I know Dallas at home somewhere sad. As a matter of fact, let me get my boys around them. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my boys around them. A motherfucking applause to hit that motherfucking line. Bet down, goddammit. Bet down. Hey, so Megacy says, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Jehovah. It's just that dividing. It said, ask another religion, believers of any religion they believe in, they're going to tell you what you believe is wrong. I had a lady tell me once, I said I'm fine. Her response was, wow, you trying to blow shit up. Nah, stop it. See, and that's what I'm saying. See, people don't get that's because see, but again, motherfuckers steady running around here talking about shit be taboo. We can't talk about this shit. You get it. The only reason motherfuckers get in arguments, bro, and I'm finna tell you, because half the time, motherfuckers don't even read the damn Bible or read the fucking Quran or read none of the books that they fucking into. And if they do, they got the fucking bogus ass understanding of it, bro. And I'm gonna keep it 100, bro. Like, bro, there's nowhere in the hell. I don't give a like, bro. There's nowhere in the hell, bro. We can sit down with the same book, bro. And again, like if this shit is subjective, just like music, how you gonna tell me that I'm wrong? How? Why? Because your religion is older than mine. See, and that's another thing. They get into that. Well, my religion is old. Well, okay. Well, what about the shit that was before that? See, and again, even with this Christian shit, bro, you feel me? And don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it came up out of the Amazon jungle or whether it came out of, well, we're gonna stick with Abraham, who came from the land of Earth. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? When they say they got the emerald tablets and the Anunnakis and all that bad shit from, you feel me? So it's just a fucking coinky dinky that when Abraham come on over and then most of these books, you know, the Elohims, the Anu, and all these other fucking giant creatures and things like that, even before the angels of wait. Well, let me hold on. Wait a minute. Let me think real quick. No, okay. This is all this had to be, you know what I'm saying, after the you know what I'm saying, the angels partook in the daughters of men. You feel me? So that's how everything happened because we was on earth at this time. Okay, all right. I didn't want to say the wrong thing. I had to, you know what I'm saying, catch myself back up. You know, talking about in my thoughts, I was moving too fast. But still and all, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit is crazy, man. You feel me? The names and shit. And what's even more alarming is that there's councils. There was even a Greek council. Was it Greek? I think it was a Greek or Roman or Catholic council. I agree. Like this it's been canonized. It's been even those that were brought together to canonize this book or transliterate or transcribe or translate this book into English for the king had jewels and gems and hidden messages inside these things. Facts. You know, well, we get the version of history about William Shakespeare writing it. All this old craziness, bro. Like, when is the craziness gonna stop? And that craziness is for the division. You feel me? So I'm rocking with it though. You know, but my point is that about you and that woman, it's because we don't want to sit down and have these discussions. We don't want to sit down and open up and tell each other, well, this is what I do, this is my faith, this is my practice, this is why I believe it, and this is why I'm steadfast in what I do. You know what I'm saying? And all a person has to do, you know, and for this shit not to be so taboo is to say, I never thought about it like that, and I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like because at the end of the day, we still all have faith in something, right? We do the same thing. Ain't like we doing nothing different. He said, no disrespect to them, but anybody I talk with in different religions tell me you wrong. I'm like, huh? I better stop debating about believing in my own shit. Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay. Oh man, I mean, all y'all ass wrong. I'm gonna keep it 100. All y'all ass wrong, right? I don't give a fuck who he is, what he is, my blood or two. All y'all ass wrong. All that shit ain't nothing. You feel me? It ain't even divisive. You Negroes and you white folks and you Asian people and all you other motherfuckers is just confused, Brody. Like, for real, bro. Like, all the information and all the fucking contradictions and all the fucking history and all the things that we know and come to know. And people, even if I don't give a hell what religion you are, a lot of these motherfuckers come in the same room and can agree on a lot of these contradictions and bullshits and things. And still go back at the end of that conversation and still go back and say, Jesus is God. Allah is God. Whoever is whatever. It's fucking insane, bro. Then when you get a group of people who say, literally, that these things are representations and manifestations of things that are not, you know what I'm saying, physically real. You know what I'm saying? This is just how we portray the spirit to be. You know what I'm saying? Through our lucids or through our, you know what I'm saying, experiences or whatever the fuck we doing like that. You know what I'm saying? That shit, you know, it's looked at as a hoax. And now they starting to believe the shit because now they saying we not responsible for it. So since we not responsible for it, now it's real. Crazy work. Crazy work. So why it ain't the same? Now that the Egyptians are Europeans and Arabs, now the narrative changes. It's crazy. At the end of the day, once our eyes shut down for good, we got to see one being, man or woman, Jesus, Buddha. It could be. What if you don't see nothing? What if you get to the spirit world on the other side and it's your people? Or what if it's just some energy with a billion voices? Who knows, man? Who knows? Again, man, I don't be up here, man, trying to knock nobody's faith, understanding, or belief. You feel me? You know, I just want to talk about it. You understand me? That's it. That's all. You know, I believe a lot of the things that we do, you know what I'm saying, got some goodness in it. You know, it's just infected because people are people. You know, again, we individuals. A lot of individuals have individualistic mindsets and don't want nothing else to grow but them. And they don't realize in that process you're not growing. You stay stagnant. That was the word I was looking for earlier. You stay stagnant. You know what I'm saying? That growth, that potential growth that you could have had is not happening. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Because the three main religions came from the same lineage. For anybody to be saying that any one of them wrong, if you're looking at it from that standpoint or from that viewpoint. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's right or wrong. I'm not going to sit here and tell you do what you do, rock out. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Mhm. You know? And be careful in the research too, y'all. I know a lot of times we do look quick Google searches and things like that, but just be careful in the research, man. Go to the library, man. Get you some physical books. If you ain't got time, get a library card. That's important. Go get a library card. How many of us have a library card? I got a library card. Let's go get some library card. And listen, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that what you're reading is facts neither, right? Because again, I believe everything is speculation. Well, you know, and people will say, well, we found this and we have this and we have that. Again, everything is misplaced speculation because we don't know for sure. You know? And just that not knowing for sure is the thing that keeps everything, you know what I'm saying, falling apart. Facts because of YouTube. I also got grief. I also gotta believe once we finally fade to black, that's if we transfer our energy back into the universe we was created from. Yeah. Yeah. You feel me? That's why they got motherfuckers out there in CERN trying to fuck with this antimatter or this black matter or whatever the hell they want to call it. You know what I'm saying? And man, like we doing too much, man. Listen, I think we gonna perish because we doing too much. You feel me? I ain't gonna even lie. We just doing too much. We doing too much. You know what I'm saying? And if a motherfucker come back down here, you know what I'm saying, to stop anything, it's because we doing too much. Like, hold on, man. Y'all can't be doing all that. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? We put y'all here to serve a specific purpose. Y'all outshining what we done put y'all down here for, you know? Yeah. Could be, man. Listen, we never know. We never know. But hopefully soon, one day, you know what I'm saying? All of us will find out. Oh no, what happened? Yeah, but like I say, so hopefully later than sooner. Much, much, much later than sooner. You know? Or have it come, man. Have it come. And so, and I always say that though about our energy going back into the universe. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, especially like I'm in one show. It was me when I talked about the ancestors and shit, you know what I'm saying, about the energy being out there. You know what I'm saying? It don't go nowhere, just go back into the universe. And sometimes, you know, we don't know how to grab that energy and use that energy because that's what it's there for. You know what I'm saying? Because we so out of tune and out of touch, you know. So I have said that, so you know I can rock with that principle about energy because energy never ceases to exist. You know what I'm saying? You know, this energy, since we know energy doesn't always does that. You know, that's why you know we get the story about this omnipotent being causing itself to exist because itself however that shit go. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. You feel me? I'm a little bit whatever. But yeah, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, shit, it's energy. We just put a name on it and we call it God, right? It's the only thing in science that does that is energy, pata, right? You know, when that mound, when that energy hit that mound, it made that mound implode. You know, a lot of stories of energy. Even if you're talking a Big Bang, it's still energy, great energy, caused by whatever forces. You're not necessarily a being. Or it could be because the universe could be a being. The universe could be an entity. The universe could be something that's living and breathing. And we're inhabitants of it because we are of it and it is of us. We're one and the same. See what I'm saying? Like, you know, so that man, like all that religion shit, like you know what I'm saying, we really gotta get in tune with what go out there, man. Like I say, getting grounded. I ain't gonna necessarily tell you go hug and kiss the tree, But some people talk to their plants and shit like that, and they say it actually helps the plant grow, and plants are stronger. You know what I'm saying? As if they understand the positive, you know. And there's been studies done where people have been talking bad to the plant, and the plants. I don't know. Could it be because you're taking up the oxygen? I don't know, because it should be the same. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, but things studies. The people talking bad and negative to the plants. Killed the plants. Crazy. They say we touched on this before. To all my fallen, you mean they just gone like that? They just gone like that. Where did the lifespan of energy go? The lifespan of energy goes back to the universe, brother. It goes nowhere. Your physical dies. You see me? I don't believe in what we call as the soul. I think it's like, again, it's an energy. This is a vessel we're in. You know, we are light beings. Energy creates light. Energy gives off light. You know, we're light beings, and there are different species of light beings. Just like there's different species of man down here. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just how I see it. That's just how I see it. That's more feasible than the rhetoric of a canonized book that was wrote and rewrote by man to fit one's narrative to control a mass population of individuals and divide them and keep them in suffrage and pain and oppression. I think we probably was doing a hell of a job by ourselves without a book. You feel me? But I love the journey of speculation. I love the journey of academia and scholastic interference and how we live our lives and shit, man. It's just wild, bro. It is wild. And people study these things for years. Years. And what's crazy, there are still arguments about data. There are arguments and things that go on behind closed doors that we're not privy to about a lot of the information that we come up here and we cite and we spew back and forth to each other. There are a lot of behind the scenes and closed doors arguments, debates, fights, and things of that nature about the current matter of everything. From politics to religion to whatever, to social matters to whatever. One washes the other hand. One they side by side. Hey, I don't know how true this is, man. Have y'all heard that the Pope can terminate any presidential executive order? I don't know. I'm just saying some shit know what I'm saying, might have heard. You know what I'm saying? You feel? You know? This is crazy out here, man. The Pope got that much power, that much influence. You know what I'm saying? See, and they keep saying the Roman Empire fell, huh? But still out here. It's still heavy. And it's still prevalent and alive and kicking in everything that we do today. It's other things and other bodies. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, we just gotta be ready, be willing, and be able to combat. Uncle P say not happening. What's not happening, Uncle P? I mean, but yeah, but what's not happening? You say not happening. What's not happening, Uncle P? Uncle P gonna bring his ass up here one day, man. You say the Pope? You say not happening? No, I said I ain't saying what that was happening. I said I heard that he could stop presidential executive orders, man. So Uncle P, it's a lot you don't know. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Now that I ain't sure about, but it's a lot that you don't know. The Pope is privy to a lot of things, Uncle P. We'll have to have an off camera conversation. You hear me? Yeah, he can do a lot of shit, brother. Mega T says, I also believe energy is transferred to they what? Were close to before they left the planet. How many times I've heard you remind me of your mom, your dad, your cousin, your sister. Okay, I believe the energy is transferred. Okay. So okay, yeah, I can rock out with that, with the reincarnation and all that, because some people believe in reincarnation. You know, when you come back, like if somebody, you know what I'm saying, yeah. So that's a good one, reincarnation. There's a lot I don't know, 100. Yeah, I'm talking about that. Nah, I ain't saying like that. I'm talking about that Pope. I'm talking about that Pope, and I ain't talking about the motherfucker yeah, yeah. Anyway. Uh, you say who? Okay. Who they were close to? Okay, okay. I also believe energy is transferred to who they were close to. Okay. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got. I got. Oh yeah, but a lot of you say I agree. There's uh a shroud over reality. Uncle B. Now that's true. That's true. But yeah, reincarnation, man. Hey, speaking of, so Uncle P, you believe in reincarnation? Mega T's, you believe in reincarnation? What you guys think about reincarnation? Um, I don't know. It's possible. It's possible. I mean, shit. I'm saying that because, especially for those people that believe in these different things. Like, if you believe in all this extra shit, a reincarnation can't be a fucking far off thing, man. That's what you know what I'm saying? Like, if Jesus walked the water and it's a God, it's a devil, if it's a heaven and earth, and more, what Noah put to every animal on earth onto this ark, you know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, you feel me? You got to believe in reincarnation. I would figure a lot of people would, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't believe in reincarnation. And also, it could be a situation of you, like when they said that, like how you said that, baby, or you remind me of this, that, and that. That could be you. And sometimes when they say that you look like that person, that could be you coming through saying hello, and or letting people know that your presence is still here. It depends on what you get into. You say you're not sure about that, the reincarnation. Say, boy, I hear you. Remind me of your mom all day, every day. RPOG. Yeah, rest in power to your OG. Well, you gonna get that from family members too, and things of that nature. I do understand that. And again, like, and to be totally honest, we're gonna get to the biology and the science of it. Of course, you're gonna remind someone of your mom. You're 50% your mother. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have her features, you're gonna have her biology, you're gonna have these things inside of you. So of course your movements, your actions do the discovery of what they call epigenetics and shit like you can burn and etch and write things on your DNA. You can change your DNA. You can do a lot of things. Lifestyle living. Like we can do a lot of things, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, we can do. Well, we can breed super soldiers if we want to. You feel me? That Captain America shit without sticking. We could. But again, man, it's all about your mind, man. We got to build our mind up. That's why I'm constantly, on Bearded Conversation or whichever show that I do. I constantly talk about the mindset. Excuse me, and changing the mind state that we in. you know, in order to resonate that energy to manifest things. As long as we vibrate, in between the low, the manifestation will never happen. You know what I'm saying? Just like, man, like I was trying to tell who was that, man, about the sounds and words, but they wasn't trying to that. Like, but again, people, you know, people understand surface is, surface evidence, or surface things, and they don't know how to get deep and delve into, what I'm saying, the extra. Because then, a lot of people say, well, that extra shit is extra. Ain't nobody doing that. That ain't how it is. But we say that shit too much because don't nobody know how it is. Don't nobody know what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? Uncle P say, he say, if reincarnated, I would prefer to come back as an oracle well. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Uncle P say he want to be Shamu. Well, I don't know if Shamu was a well, but y'all get it. Why a well, Uncle P? Why? What about you, Megatees? What would you want to be if you was to come back? What would you want to be reincarnated as? An animal or another human? You know what I'm saying? What would you want to be? I used to say a bird. I wasn't specific on what type. I just said a bird so I can fly. Orcas have zero predators or enemies. I imagine not being the biggest thing in the ocean. I would imagine not being the biggest damn thing in the ocean. I don't think I have none of that neither. You feel me? He said, point you and sis remind me of Pop's RP Senior to your answer, a better version of myself. He said, point, me and sis remind you of Pops. Yeah. Well, yeah, we probably do. You feel me? I know I do at times. I know I can, you know what I'm saying? I know I fuck around and be like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I already know. But yeah, I used to say a bird, Uncle P, you know what I'm saying? Now that I done lived and had some experience, I probably would I ain't gonna say I would retract it, but I probably have to think on it again. But you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't know what I want to be reincarnated as. If that was possible, if that was true, if that was a thing. You know what I'm saying? But they say it is. They say that's what the deja vu should be. You feel it's, man, there's a lot of things that's connected. You hear a lot of shit. We don't know nothing, Uncle P. You know. You know what I'm saying? String theory can really be a thing. You feel me? Like, man, we ain't time travel to change no events to know that shit probably statistically won't or will happen with the time continuum and space and change shit and things like that. We don't be knowing all that. Oh, but I do think we'll figure some of this shit out one day. Before us. Or maybe not us. But I wouldn't mind getting visited neither. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind getting visited and actually having a conversation or a discussion with some of these things. I think that'd be interesting, man. Man, I'm wide awake, boy. Last night, man, y'all, listen. Them gangs took a lot out of me, man. I had the refer game yesterday. You feel me, man, with them badass kids, boy, they mouths is unbelievable. They were trying to fight. They were trying to do all type of shit yesterday. He actually had another game today. I couldn't make that game. I was at work. You know what I'm saying? I said, boy, why you playing like that? But, he independent. He getting games where he can get games. He got his team running around, you know what I'm saying, getting games and, building them up. So, big ups to Coach Ricky. You feel me? He said, again, I will want to be a better version of myself versus this physical life. That's dope, though. That's dope to want to come back and do it again as yourself and figure it out. If we are using logic and the laws of physics, we never truly die. We just transfer the energy that makes us on a molecular level. And I, of course, Uncle P, we said I say that shit all the time. Like, you know what I'm saying? and without the physics. You know what I'm saying? I ain't need physics for that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't need physics for that. You feel me? That's why I say a lot of this bull. I ain't gonna say bull, but a lot of this science or these sciences that we do. A lot of that shit is common sense. A lot of that shit is what we live in on a day-to-day basis, bro. You know, we just don't know it. And you know, they make these systems, which is schools, and they put us in to try to make us aware of it so they can control the narrative and the thesis that they give us. And in turn, you know, we give them what's politically correct inside of a society. You know what I'm saying? That they constructed. You feel me? You know? Man, that's a beautiful plan. Man, this shit is immaculate the way they put it together. You know what I'm saying? But you got to know how to ride that wave and go through those obstacles and knock down those walls and cross those bridges. You know what I'm saying? And climb and keep going and keep pushing. And knowing that a lot of things, even if you do got faith in something, there's nothing wrong with having faith in whatever the fuck you believe in and knowing that it's a divisive measure at the same time. You feel me? There's nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong with having the faith and knowing that it's a divisive measure at the same time. Because when you learn that it's a divisive measure or you feel or you're starting to feel that way, you get in tune with people. You learn how to deal with people for being people. And that whether you're only doing that with your kind or whether you're doing that with other people that you mingle with that's not your kind. You know what I'm saying? Some catch on or hop on or you know eliminating than others. You feel me? As we can see, all the damn problems and shit that we keep having out here. But man, listen, man, people are people. We gonna do what we gonna do. This shit is gonna be the way it is. You know? Man. But we got a couple more minutes before I get up out of here, man. I'm gonna keep it at 2 hours tonight. You know what I'm saying? I thought my Oracle or King was gonna come in and top it up with me. You feel me? I ain't saying Monkey Man in a minute. Or for sure, I ain't saying, you know what I'm saying, the Archbishop or the pastor, you know what I'm saying, in a minute. You know what I'm saying? Big ups to those, man. Let me give a few shout outs, man. I want to give a big shout out, man. Make sure y'all go tap in with For Show TV, TMB with Monkey Man, Hurricane JW, you know what I'm saying? Jordan, Anchor Frequency Channel, Unwrapped the Podcast, the Queen Goddess, Miss CC Craven, Careful Lane, Blazed and Unfiltered. Make sure y'all go tap in with her. I want to give a big shout out to all my followers, fans, viewers, and subscribers. Don't forget to keep liking. Don't forget to keep sharing. Big ups to all my moderators, man. Y'all know who y'all are. Got some of the best in the game from Lil J Bucks to Remo and all my queens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and big ups to Miss Chocolate Tie, newly made. You feel? Yeah. Welcome to the family, Queen. Welcome to the family. But yeah, man, big ups to all of them, man. Listen, support those that support you, support those that support me. You know, and I think we can start moving this needle and getting things done and accomplished for ourselves. You know, and stop being complacent. I believe if we fight more, we won't be complacent. I think when we stopped fighting, we became complacent. We became stagnant. You know, let's get over that hump. I ain't saying we got to go out here and start no motherfucking revolution, but that might come later on down the line. So you got to know that. But goddamn it, we got to start knocking some heads off. We want to make some movement. All that protest and demands and this shit ain't getting you nowhere. You feel me? You know, all that praying ain't getting you nowhere. All that belief and all this craziness ain't getting you nowhere. You know what I'm saying? We need to get us there. When I say we, the people, us, we need to get us there. But listen, y'all, I had a great couple of hours with y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in for these couple of hours, man. I believe y'all like how I came to you, man. Keep everybody in your thoughts, prayers, views, and meditations. Again, keep everyone in your thoughts, your prayers, your views, and meditations. And one last time, y'all, keep everyone in your thoughts, your prayers, your views, your meditations. And don't forget to master those 5 key components of life. That's love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. That's love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. And one more time before we get up out of here. That's love, peace, respect, motivation, and inspiration. And don't forget to E40 that thing and sprinkle a little support on top, man. I had to come back to my people, man, and give y'all a couple of hours, man. You know what I'm saying? On this Sunday, man. I kind of, you know what I'm saying? I had to Excuse me, I'm sorry. I had a human malfunction yesterday. Again. But as y'all can see, man, I'm bright eyed and bushy tailed tonight. But man, I'm gonna end it, you know what I'm saying, a little early. Give me some much needed rest, I guess. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I say, man, I appreciate everybody for coming through. So don't forget to hit that like button, share the stream, man. And like I say, man, we trying to get 1,000 subs, man. So when you're on your way to church, to store, grocery store, neighbors, dope, cousins, auntie, whoever else, don't forget to ask them if they heard about us. You know what I'm saying, over here on the channel. If they ain't, when they pull their phones out, make sure when they pull them out, you boop, hit that motherfucking subscribe button, man. Listen, this is a family channel. You know what I'm saying? We for the kiddos. You feel me? We for everybody. So, you know what I'm saying? There's something over here for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget to tune in every Monday through Thursday for Bearded Conversation from 9 to 11. Every Friday for Bearded Studios, where we live music reviews and interviews of independent artists. And every Saturday for the Bearded Lounge, where we spin their music and come on back on Sunday again for the Bearded Tabernacle. You know what I'm saying? Where we dive into theology, other spiritual concepts and things of that nature. So, man, I had a good time with y'all tonight. I hope y'all had at least a decent time, you know. So don't forget to tune in tomorrow for Manly Man Day. Man, y'all know what it is, man. You feel it? All superheroes don't wear capes. Y'all know I can't do the C though, but all superheroes don't wear capes, but they still need their theme music. So to all my superheroes, all my beautiful people, and all my beer donies, y'all know what it is, man. And don't forget, man, don't meet us here, beat us here. Same black time, same black channel. Talk black to me, y'all. And like Roscoe would say if he was here, if ain't nobody told you, excuse me, if ain't nobody told you that they love you today, we love you here on Bearded Conversation. Peace, y'all. Those that fuck with us, fuck with us. Those that don't, fuck with us anyway. Hey man, don't forget when we come together, may we always meet on the level. Once we're in each other's presence, may we always be humble and plumb. And when we leave each other's presence, may we always, I say always, and I do mean always, part on the square. Some more to be, some more to be, some more to be, so may it be, family. Peace. Hey man, from the bottom of my heart to the top of my mind, I want to let all y'all know, without y'all, it wouldn't be no Bearded Conversation, man. I wouldn't have the strength to come up and do this every night for my people, regardless of whatever going on. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for supporting me and being here for me. You know what I'm saying? And let's keep this thing rocking. Let's keep this thing going. And come out, we're going to see some great things together before it's all over. With that being said, y'all, peace.